Good morning, beautiful people, on this fine Monday. Headed to Warner Robins, which is the kind of the usual here for most of these Monday videos. But I was just gonna say, I am in my prime season, so to speak. I love the fall and winter months, kind of. Not necessarily the midwinter months when it's like ice on the road and it's below 32, but I love the weather about this time of year where the high for the day is around maybe 80 and the low is around maybe 40. Basically in that 40 to 80 range. I know that's kind of a big range there. But that 40 to 80 range is prime weather for me. I know a lot of people around this time of year, they kind of bundle up and start their bolts. But for me, this is usually when I'm at my lightest, actually, because I'm outdoors more, I'm doing more, and honestly, I feel like I eat a lot cleaner this time of year versus the other times of the year, and I'm more active, so I feel like I'm a little bit more healthier and a little bit lighter this time of year. But there's so much going on this time of year is another reason I like it. For instance, this weekend we went to the Georgia National Fairgrounds in Perry, Georgia. They have the Perry Fair pretty much every year. Me and the family, we love going. We go pretty much every year. We may skip a year here and there if we got other things going on. We went this weekend with my whole family went, as far as like me, the wife, kiddos, the mother-in-law. Mother-in-law stays with us. My one sister-in-law that kind of stays with us off and on while she's finishing up her nursing stuff. She didn't wind up going, and then my brother and sister-in-law and their two kids who live in Leesburg also went, and we kind of met them there for a little bit. But it was wonderful. We spent a little bit more money than we should have buying funnel cakes and deep fried Oreos and all that stuff. But that'll be the one bad day for me as far as eating, because I'm not big on like popcorn and all the other stuff that much. But me and my son both love Oreos, so we did some deep fried Oreos, just one little thing of it, and it was pretty bomb. I'm not gonna lie. Granted, we're probably not going to do it again because that is way super unhealthy for you, and I I don't recommend it from a health standpoint, but as a taste standpoint, it is immaculate. Deep fried Oreos is the bomb, but definitely something you should not eat every day unless you want to be like on My 600 Pound Life with Dr. Oz and all that. But fall time is when I'm the most active. I want to do stuff outdoors. I want to get going, get the juices flowing, so to speak, and do more outside, and just in general just do more because of the weather. Summertime in Georgia, it can get up to 100 degrees plus like 80% humidity, so it feels like either the armpit or butt crack of the nation. And I don't know if you ever seen videos of people talking about swamp butt and stuff like that, but yeah, that's a real thing. And you will definitely get it during the summertime. So I'm not as active during the summer, and I feel like I eat a lot of snacks, and then I'm not very active and all those things during the summertime. So, because I don't have to work in the fields anymore like I used to when I was younger. So now, during the summertime, I feel like I kind of pack on a little bit of weight towards the end, and then when I get to fall, that's when I kind of drop it because I'm a lot more active. And then by winter, I'm kind of just maintaining, and then spring hits, I'm active again, and then when summer hits, I feel like I get my heaviest and fluffiest during the summer because that's kind of when I'm lazy because it's so hot, and then I'm just sitting around the house snacking because I don't want to go out and die in the heat. But that's just me being lazy. I used to not be like that, but as I've gotten older, I've realized I've kind of followed that trend. I need to get out of it. But the other thing with fall and winter is I love the food. I love, the corn. I love peanuts. Anybody that knows me knows I love peanut butter, peanuts, all the things with that. Another thing, I love pecans. Pecans this time of year, or pecans, however you want to say it. I like pecan pies. I like just pecan flavored stuff. That's a good thing. This time of year, which you can kind of get it year round, the maple syrups and stuff for like pancakes and stuff like that. It's a really good time to get those things because usually they're in pretty large quantities this time of year as far as the organic stuff. So I try to do that this time of year too, and kind of stock up on some of the good ones. There's a really good place out of Savannah. They'll come to one of the festivals in Alma, usually around this time of year, and they have some of the best syrup, and they actually flavor it sometimes with like it'll be like a maple butter or this, that, and the other, and it's all done here in Georgia and sourced. Like everything's here in Georgia, like the trees, the sap that's pulled, the processing, everything is done here, and it's Georgia local, and it's out of Savannah. Really, really good stuff. Usually when we go to the Alma festival, or sometimes we'll have it, they have the Gopher Tortoise Festival in Douglas, which was Saturday, which we missed that one because we went to the Perry Fair. But usually we'll try to do that one too. That one's a really good one. And usually we'll go to one of those. We'll get our syrups and jellies and XYZ things for the year, and we'll kind of stock up and buy like 3 to 6 of them just because that's like prime time to get them. The other thing I love about this time of year is just the way the leaves change. It's just so nice being outdoors this time of year, especially in Georgia. Whereas summer, you feel like you're dying because of the heat. You feel like you're a rotisserie chicken in an oven or something. But the other thing I was going to say is, obviously this time of year you have some of my favorite holidays too. We don't really celebrate Halloween. My wife views it as it's kind of like a cult / demonic holiday kind of thing, which, I mean, there's history of that kind of stuff if you look into it. So we don't really do Halloween, but we do Thanksgiving and Christmas, with Christmas being more so a focus on Jesus and everything rather than Santa Claus and stuff like that. But the big one for me is Thanksgiving. So Thanksgiving, I enjoy all the variety of food. I enjoy the family getting together. And usually it's not an expensive holiday versus Christmas. I feel like as a kid, every kid loves Christmas. But as you get to an adult, you're the ones buying all those gifts, and you're like, oh gosh, I got to drop XYZ amount of money for Christmas, and then you got to try to budget that and everything else, and it usually throws your budget out of whack, and then you start kind of stressing on that, or you got to pick up a few extra days for Christmas money, and all those kind of things that kind of play into it, and it can be somewhat of a stressful holiday, to say the least. But usually also with this, every once in a while we'll try to do a family trip up to the mountains. I like the mountains. I like all the hiking, the scenery, the leaves, everything. So we'll probably try to do one this year. We were actually talking about it after the fair this weekend. Everyone came back to our house and stayed the night, and we were looking at planning a trip to the mountains and renting a cabin. There'll probably be maybe 12 to 15 of us total going. So we'll rent out a cabin. We'll split it between all the adults. So once we do that, once we split it between all the adults, it won't be that bad. And then it'll be like $175 per person, I think is what we're looking at. Of course, you still got to drive up there, food, stuff like that. But the cabin itself would be $175 per person, so not that bad. And we'll probably go the week before Thanksgiving is what it's looking like. So it's around that time, and after Thanksgiving is after Thanksgiving and around Christmas time. Usually if you're going to the mountains, that's like the most expensive time to go. If you go slightly before Thanksgiving, usually it's a little bit cheaper. But as you get closer to Thanksgiving, it gets more pricey. Unfortunately, with everybody's work schedule and the kids' school schedule and everything, the best time for us to go is right there at Thanksgiving because of the way everybody's schedule kind of works out. But we'll figure that out and get her done. We always do. But I'm gonna go ahead and cut this video. Just kind of excited about the fall. Had a good weekend this weekend at Perry with the family and everything. I'm loving the weather already. Getting out, getting active. I know the pecans are going to start falling, so I can start getting into some of that stuff. We did some grilling this weekend also. So we were grilling and everything. And it's just been a good little weekend this past weekend, and it is just the beginning of this beautiful fall weather that I love so much. But with that, I want to finish up my drive up here to Warner Robins. Y'all make sure that you give the wife and kids a hug, let them know you love them, slap the old lady on the butt, let her know she still drives you wild, and just have a good day.